What is going on, guys? Welcome to Proper MMA, and today we're going to be discussing the main event for UFC Fight Night in Vegas, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. And what a great fight night main event we have here. And I made a video about like 8-9 days ago talking about how the fight nights over the next couple months are actually legitimately awesome fight nights to watch. They're not some Tybura versus oh my god, Spivak bullshit and that type of nasty looking card right there. These are fight nights that can bring in new fans, keep existing fans watching, and just make the sport better. And this main event that we're going to be discussing today is exactly why this fight night is amazing. And as I said in my last video, I don't think this is a trend that's just gonna, I don't think the UFC has just been like, oh, we're not making bet, every fight night's actually going to be quality now. I don't think that's the case. I think we're just in a very lucky stretch of time, and hopefully this luck lasts, as long as it can, because I think we're going to soon, a couple months, we're going to be back to getting some shitty ass fight nights, guys. But let's get into this. So you got Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady. This is a tough fight because on paper, this is a fight that seems like it's the young eats the old. That always happens. No matter what happens, nothing will ever defeat Father Time. And you got Gilbert Burns, I believe. He was 37 in his last fight. I believe he's 38 now. If not, he's about to be. But I think he's 38. Sean Brady, I believe, is 31. So you get 7-year age advantage. You have Sean Brady, who, was only one loss to Bilal Muhammad. He got melted in that fight, but not a bad loss. Bilal Muhammad's the best welterweight on the planet. So not a bad loss. You got Gilbert Burns, who, lost to JDM. Also not a bad loss. And in that fight, if it went to decision, if he survived, Gilbert Burns would have won that fight. So JDM got a clutch knee, finished him with ground and pound. Great win by JDM. But Gilbert Burns, very competitive in that fight, was winning that fight on the judges' scorecards, I believe, after they released him, after the fight results, or after the fight happened. So, when we look at this fight, it's, as I said, it's a perfect example of a fight where the young guy should win. And that's why this fight's hard to pick, I think, for a lot of people. But for me personally, this fight's not hard for me to pick, really. And I'll tell you why in a sec, but I'm going Gilbert Burns. I'm going Gilbert Burns by decision. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, when we look at both of their resumes, Gilbert Burns, lost to Jack Della Maddalena, lost to Bilal Muhammad. His last 2 wins are Jorge Masvidal, dead body, Neil Magny, borderline top 15 guy. I mean, those are not great win guys. But, he went to war with Khamzat Chimaev. He beat Stephen Thompson. He had, dropped Kamaru Usman in the first round. Then, he got finished himself, but, fought for the title. Beat Tyron Woodley right after that Usman loss. So, Woodley wasn't on, the massive slide. Beat some other guys, Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson. So, Gilbert Burns' resume is not very good itself, but it's a lot better than Sean Brady's, and he's fought way better guys. Way better. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev went to war with Khamzat Chimaev. He hit Khamzat Chimaev with punches that I firmly believe, like, if Khamzat Chimaev, like, got hit in fights prior where he just, he went into, Li Jingliang fight and just, he didn't even get hit once. If he actually took some damage in fights prior and his chin maybe was a little weaker, Gilbert Burns, go look at that second round, guys. That fight was such a banger. Gilbert Burns hit him with shots that, especially from Burns, who hits hard, that you'd think would put someone out. Like, if they fought again and Burns hit Khamzat with those shots again, I think Khamzat might go out. I'd pick Khamzat to win, but I think Khamzat would go out if he got hit like that. So Gilbert Burns fought a fantastic fight against Khamzat Chimaev. And, he has solid wins, but, he also has a lot of losses. But then again, he's fighting the top of the top guys. Lost to Bilal Muhammad, JDM. So when you look at Sean Brady's resume, I mean, what? You have a win over Kelvin Gastelum? What does that mean? What does that win do for you? You got a Kimura in the 3rd round. Oh, wow. Like, so impressive. Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, this guy lost 3 in a row, 2 in a row after losing to Israel Adesanya. Got a win, lost 2 in a row, got a win, lost Sean Brady, and then he just beat Daniel Rodriguez after, I believe, he missed weight. I mean, that was... Dude just doesn't give a shit. He just cares about eating. That's mostly what he cares about. When I'm looking at Sean Brady, I'm looking at his record right now as I'm, like, talking to you guys. Sean Brady, this guy has no resume. If the fight with Michael Chiesa kept going, if that was a 5-rounder, Sean Brady, I believe, was gassing out. Chiesa probably would have won, and Michael Chiesa is not very good. He's dog shit striking. It's kind of like Brady. So, like, Sean Brady, listen, his loss to Bilal Muhammad has aged very well. And you lost to Bilal Muhammad. There's not really a better loss you could have in the welterweight division, but he got melted by Bilal Muhammad. I mean, you had Gilbert Burns, who got dominated by Bilal Muhammad, not in a different way than, Sean Brady did. But, he lost like 50-45, but Gilbert Burns didn't get melted by the guy, though. And I'm a huge believer in Bilal Muhammad and his striking. But I don't think Bilal Muhammad is, I don't think his striking style is the type that, you're just getting a standing TKO in the second round. But he did that to Sean Brady. And Gilbert Burns, Bilal Muhammad hit him with a kick. I forgot which round, hit him with a kick, broke Gilbert Burns' arm, I believe, in their fight. I think that was the injury. I think it was a broken arm kind of, or something around that type of injury. And even Gilbert Burns wasn't getting melted by Bilal Muhammad. And Sean Brady is, and I know, fight math doesn't always work, because I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to melt Sean Brady like Bilal did, because I think Bilal's a lot better than Gilbert Burns, but it just doesn't look good. And he has one fight since then against Kelvin Gastelum, who's, I don't want to say he's a dead body. I guess he's coming off a win, but, guys, it's Kelvin Gastelum. He's a bum. He's a scrub. He's an absolute scrub. I will not, anyone who thinks Kelvin Gastelum's actually good, maybe he was a couple of years ago, I guess he was, he fought for an interim title. But where would Kelvin Gastelum be without that Adesanya fight? Imagine Adesanya just KO'd him in the second round. I feel like his whole name right now lives off that fight. Oh, we had a close fight with Adesanya. It's like, this guy, he's absolute scrub. Well, Gilbert Burns, yes, he's lost 2 in a row, but, yes, his last 2 wins aren't over great competition, but they're better competition than Sean Brady's wins, debatably, and he's fought way better guys. And Gilbert Burns, I guess back, looking at how this fight I think is actually going to take, how it's actually going to go down instead of just, picking apart both the resumes, because especially with Sean Brady's, there's a lot to pick apart. When you look at Gilbert Burns, when does he get dominated on the ground by anyone? He didn't get dominated on the ground by Hamzat. He didn't get dominated on the ground by Usman. He didn't get dominated on the ground by Bilal. He doesn't. And I'm not saying Gilbert Burns is going out there and dominating people on the ground, but he has great jiu-jitsu. He has good wrestling. He doesn't get dominated by wrestlers. And Sean Brady, that's the only thing he has. Burns has better cardio. He has great great defensive wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And his striking isn't great, but it's so much better than Sean Brady's. Because Burns actually has power. As I said, he hit Hamzat Chimaev with shots that are good enough shots to put him to sleep. So if you're going to pick Sean Brady, the only way you can pick Sean Brady is that Sean Brady isn't going to gas, which I don't believe. He's never gone 5 rounds, and in 3-round fights, he has gassed. So I don't believe that I do believe Sean Brady will get tired. And his striking is fucking dog shit. It's dog shit, and he doesn't have the power that Gilbert Burns has. So the only way, I guess there's 2 ways you could pick Sean Brady. If you were just so against picking an older guy like Gilbert Burns, who's 38, and I get it. That's, I know it's not lightweight, but 38 is old. Then I get it. I get it. You don't want to pick the old guy. You want to go with the 31-year-old guy, I guess, in his prime, the up-and-coming guy, I guess you could say. I get why you pick Sean Brady. Or if you think Sean Brady is I guess maybe there's a belief that Sean Brady is able to use his grappling and get to positions without too much, effort against Gilbert Burns, which I guess means that you just believe, I guess overall, it just mainly comes down to, if you think Gilbert Burns is washed, you're picking Sean Brady. That's the only way you pick Sean Brady. If you think Burns is just totally on the decline, out of his prime fully, and just is kind of washed up. That's the only way I think you can pick, only way I can see someone picking Sean Brady, that Burns is washed. And I get it, he's 38, I get it, but I know Burns is taking a lot of damage, but I don't think he's washed. Do I think Burns is ever going to touch gold or fight for a title? No. Do I think Burns is absolute prime? No. But, if he survived that JDM, that, the judges would have given him the fight. That's a huge win. Imagine, we're talking Burns as a win over JDM. He's one fight out of the title discussion, potentially. Maybe not since Bilal was champ, maybe not, but who knows? With how the UFC works, undeserved title shots, maybe people have to step up on short notice. With one more win, he's right back in there. Even if just after JDM win, he's super close to the title shot, potentially. But, and so I just I'm acting like this is a tough fight to pick sometimes. I'm talking about so much, but I'm trying to think like how someone picked Sean Brady in this fight, other than like they believe Gilbert Burns is too old and hence that he's kind of washed up. Because I'll tell you one thing, if Gilbert Burns was 35, absolutely no one's picking Sean Brady. If this fight was 6 months ago, I don't think anyone's picking Sean Brady. So I'm going Gilbert Burns by decision. I could see Gilbert Burns TKO'ing him, to be honest. I could see him hitting him with a hard punch and TKO'ing him. No, I'm switching it. I'm going Gilbert Burns. I'm going Gilbert Burns 4th round TKO. I think Sean Brady really starts the gas in that 3rd round. I think he's able in the early rounds to get Burns in a position, maybe get Burns' back, get him a dominant position for Brady. But I believe that Brady is going to have to expend, he's going to have to use so much energy, so much of just his gas tank to get those early dominant positions for him. And at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to get them again later in the fight. He's not going to be able to do enough of them when he has them, and he's going to use too much energy. And Gilbert Burns, I think in that 4th round, is going to clip him with a big shot. He's going to clip him with a big shot. He's going to put Sean Brady down. He's going to TKO him. And Gilbert Burns at age 38 is going to have a statement win, and, it's going to be win saying, hey, listen, I guess he could go say like, oh, like I got caught with a lucky knee, in that Jack JDM fight, like I'm still in the top 5. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like a post-fight speech like that for Burns. It's, it's going to be like a statement, kind of almost coming out party, like, hey, I ain't washed up yet. I still got fights left in me. I think that's how it's going to end. And I think Burns is going to win this fight. He's going to get a next fight, a huge fight in his next fight, maybe not huge, but you know what I'm trying to say, a big fight in the welterweight division. And I think Sean Brady is just, he's going to be looked at as a guy who is good. Sean Brady loses. He's still a good fighter. Should be ranked top 15, but it's going to be like, okay, you got melted by Bilal Muhammad, and then you just got KO by, 38-year-old Gilbert Burns, while you're like, I guess, the young guy in this scenario, at least against Gilbert. I think it's going to be a bad look for Brady. I think Brady's going to lose a lot of stock this week. Sean Brady has any dedicated fans, I don't think you're not going to be hearing from them on Twitter after this weekend. That's my prediction. It's going to be bad. It's going to be kind of an embarrassing performance by Brady. I think I can see Brady win the first 2 rounds maybe, but after that it just goes downhill. And I think Burns, as I said, I think he solidifies that he is still a top 5 guy in the welterweight division with a TKO 4th round TKO win over Sean Brady. Starches him badly with a left or right hand, finishes him with ground and pound. Brady won't be able to get Burns off of him. And who knows, maybe Burns gets a submission too, but I'm going TKO. But so guys, I know I gave my prediction on the fight a little earlier in this video than I kind of wanted to, and then, we went into all the details, but that's just kind of my opinion on both these guys' resume and how this fight's going to play out. So I got Burns 4th round TKO, so let me know what you guys think about that main event, what my prediction is. Let me know if you're picking Sean Brady and why. I get the age thing, I do, but let me know if there's any other reasons. Like, do you think Sean Brady's gas tank has improved? Do you think Sean Brady is able to get Burns' back and maybe submit him without using energy, too much of his energy and, not gassing out and stuff? So let me know if you think Brady wins. Let me know why. And just, make sure to comment, like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.